from the days of Nebuchadnezzar. Because a lot of Jews fled to Egypt, most of them died, tried to escape the incarceration under the Babylonians then. And when Alexander the Great took them down, they were still living there. And then when Alexander the Great died, and Antiochus and Ptolemy took over, the other two generals, I forget their names, took over, but Ptolemy had Egypt and Antiochus had Syria, they were moving people around. So it says, between the 2nd and 3rd centuries, the black Jews of Arabia continued migrating across, we're on page 88, continued migrating across the Red Sea, to Ethiopia. The large exodus of the Jews occurred during the persecution of the Arabs led by Muhammad. He had said on his dying bed that he wanted Islam to be supreme throughout all of Arabia. There was a Jewish tribe called Rekab, which crossed the Red Sea and migrated to the extreme point of the western Sudan. At the same time that the Jews were migrating westward across the Sudan from Ethiopia, they also migrated southward from Libya, Tunisia, Algeria and Morocco to the fertile region between Senegal and the Niger rivers. So what's happened is that once Muhammad now was Islamifying the whole of the Middle East and was moving into North Africa, the Jews fled. The Jews that were living in North Africa and East Coast all fled to the West Coast, where the Jews that had fled Jerusalem in 70 AD had gone to. So now they're all in one place now, on the west coast of Africa. So it shows you here, it says, at the time that the Jews were migrating westward, across the Sudan from Ethiopia, they also migrated southward from Libya, Tunisia, Algeria and Morocco to the fertile region between Senegal and Niger rivers. When the Jews from the north and the east met between these two rivers, they established a confluence or crossroads in West Africa, where men could exchange their culture, ideas and merchandise. These Jewish migrations went on with great frequency about 300 AD, and they continued with the uttermost regularity for 1200 years. So for 1200 years, we were accumulating. It's like the Lord was just gathering us together and putting us there, preparing us, getting us ready for the slave trade. For 1200 years, there was a gathering of Jews from Europe, from North Africa, from East Africa, from the Middle East to the west coast of Africa. For 1200 years. So let's get this right. It said the frequency was about 300 AD when all of this started to happen again. So we go back to 70 AD when Emperor Vespasian took down Rome, and all of them fled, and 1 million Jews fled to the west coast of Africa. And then you had those Jews that were already living in the north of Africa and the east of Africa prior to 70 AD, and different parts of Europe, So it says here, it says the frequency was about 300 AD, so about 300 AD they continued with the uttermost regularity for 1200 years. That leads you up to what? To 1500 AD, So Joseph J. Williams points out the course of the Jewish migration from northeast Africa. He writes that the Jews migrated up the Nile, passing Memphis, Elephantine, Khartoum, and then they turned west at Kordofan in central Sudan, in the region of the White Nile. Williams thinks some Jews settled in the country of Shilla in the southern Sudan and Uganda. It says Zar el-Yemeni came to Kuka about 300 AD, an ancient abode of the Songhai tribe. He established a line of kings known as the Zar, Dijar, or the Daya dynasty. The founder of the first Sudanic dynasty in Western Africa was a black Jew, not a white Caucasian, called himself an Israeli, a black Jew. It says, by what factors can we explain the emergence of black Hebrew homogeneity and leadership over the indigenous tribes? The answer is simple. The Jews came into the Western Sudan from northern and eastern Africa as a result of a chain of commercial and persecutory migrations. The Jews had settled among the most civilized people throughout the ages. They adopted new methods from other people and left their material, education and moral imprint among the people with whom they resided. For many centuries, the Hebrews had to employ great physical and psychological initiatives. They could not afford to be complacent or apathetic. They were hated, so apathy could mean cultural stagnation or death. And I told you they were hated by the Hamites, by the other black nations that originally lived in Africa, and they are Hamites. This says they were hated, right? It says the Jews imported into the western part of Africa superior material, educational, and moral culture soon after 300 AD, and this cultural advancement was not duplicated or exceeded until the century of the Mohammedan leader Mansa Kanka Musa of Mali in 1312 AD. And Mansa Kanka Musa of Mali was a Hebrew Israelite that was practicing Islam. In the 3rd and 4th centuries AD, the Africans on the west coast did not possess the cultural superiority of the Africans on the north or east coast. The black Jews had advantage over the African tribes because the black Jews are not Africans. That's why they had advantage over the Africans. That's why they can make a statement like this, that the black Jews had advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organisation. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the autochthonous population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, and mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of arts, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armourers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc. The black Hebrew kings of Ghana had 2 titles. The first one was called Kayamaga, K-A-Y-A-M-A-G-A, Master of Gold, and the second Ghana, which means war chief. Professor Goodby says that 22 Hebrew kings reigned in Ghana before the Hegira in 622 AD, and 44 had reigned by 790. Davison makes mention of the Tariq el-Fatah history of the researcher, which says that Kumbi had been the capital of the vast country of the Kamaga, while the Tariq es-Sudan states that the Kayamaga had been the name of the first king of this country. So, 22 Hebrew kings reigned in Ghana before the Hegira in 622 AD. The Hegira is when that's talking about Muhammad Islamifying the whole fucking Middle East. And then after that, 44 had reigned by 1790. So I'm just, like I said to you, you've seen the evidence, we know who we are, yeah? I'm going to just finish on one scripture here. Where are you? No, sorry. I'm going to finish on one scripture here. It's Amos, come on, let's get it. Okay, Amos chapter 1, verse 9. Yeah? Then said the Messiah, call his name lower me, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered, and it shall come to pass that in that place where it said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. So that's a fucking prophecy. So in that place, yeah, it says, we'll start again. This is Hosea, I don't know why I said Amos, please forgive me. Hosea chapter 1 verse 9. Then said the Most High, call his name Lo-a-mi, for ye are not my people. Because the word Lo-a-mi means ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which we've always said that, which cannot be measured nor numbered, because we can't be measured nor numbered. And that's for many reasons. One, because there's so many of us, and two, because we don't even know who we are, like where the rest of us are, to be able to count us, to do a census. Yeah? And it shall come to pass that in that place where it said unto them, ye are not my people, and where is that place? the Americas, the West Indies, and throughout Europe. In the places where we know the majority of Israel is today, in those places in the West where it said, ye are not. Now, in the West they say, no, you're not Israel. But if you go east, they're more time to say, oh, but in the West, they're not having it. So it says, in that place where it said unto them, ye are not my people, there, in that same fucking place, it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living powers. In the same place we're going to get redemption. And the Lord is going to put us on a pedestal, and the whole world is going to have to admit and have to basically, like Scripture says, confront with this truth, to acknowledge that we are truly the children of the Most High, and those people in Israel today who call themselves Israelis are Satanists. Then shall the children of Judah, yeah, and the children of Israel. So remember, all the tribes are together now, you know, in the Americas. They're all together. Judah, Levi, Benjamin, Naphtali, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, yeah, Asher, Issachar. They're all together. Yeah, all throughout the Americas. It says, then shall the children of Judah and children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. So, on that note, in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, there's other books here, Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa. Moses Farad, he'll tell you that all about the Jews, the black Jews, who they really are, who the real Jews are. Yeah. So on that note, in the name of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, double numbers to the elders of GMS. Shalom.